66 million years ago, the dinosaur dynasty ushered in its final sunset. A meteorite fell from the sky, smashed the old overlord to smithereens. However, behind the scenes of this disaster, is there really only one meteorite? Maybe the real story? It's more complicated than we thought. Late stage of white evil. The Earth is like a giant greenhouse garden. The climate is warm and humid. There's no ice. The sea level was much higher than it is today. The continents are separated by shallow seas. Central North America submerged under shallow seas. Europe is a broken archipelago. Indian subcontinent, hanging alone in the ocean of the southern hemisphere. In this lush tropical world, the dinosaur family reached the pinnacle of their dominance. By this time, they were already on Earth. They've flourished for over 150 million years. Dominance is unshakable. Terrestrial Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, and other behemoths run rampant. A dragon soars in the sky. In the ocean, Kanglong and other sea overlords hunt wantonly. The lush forest is full of colorful flowers. Some small primitive mammals hide in the shadows and forage at night. Only dared to be a supporting role in the age of dinosaurs. It was the height of the dinosaur dynasty. It was his eve. It looked prosperous. However, the precursors to the storm are already brewing. The climate begins to fluctuate slightly. The diversity of some species is quietly declining. But huge dinosaurs, still living a carefree life, didn't realize it at all. An epic disaster from heaven and earth is creeping up on them. Just as Kongrong was spending their days leisurely, an uninvited guest, at over 20 kilometers per second, dozens of times faster than bullets, rushing towards Earth from space. This is a giant asteroid about 10 kilometers in diameter. It's like a mountain falling from the sky. One day, 66 million years ago, he scratched the sky, dragging the flame of the eye, trajectory in a devastating manner, to the waters around what is now the Gulf of Mexico. The next moment, the Earth shook. Asteroids have hit Earth with unspeakable energy. The power released in an instant. It's like billions of atomic bombs going off at the same time. The moment of impact. The Earth seems to stand still for it. The dinosaurs didn't even have time to be afraid. It has been suddenly doomed. Strong light and high temperature engulf square. Everything within hundreds of kilometers was instantly wiped out. Violent shock wave. It is like an invisible hammer sweeping across the Earth. Everywhere, forests are being uprooted. Rocks are gasified. Then the hot debris was thrown high into the sky, falling like a rain of fire, sparking wildfires around the world. The forest went up in flames. The impact also triggered a churning tsunami, raising waves hundreds of meters high, raging along the coast, dragging coastal life into the deep sea. Even more terrifying is the long-term disaster caused by the impact. Asteroid hits a huge crater with a diameter of about 180 kilometers, located in what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, the famous West Julub crater. Trillions of tons of dust and gas was injected into the atmosphere. A sky of ash and dust obscured the sun. The Earth is plunged into darkness for months or even years. Losing the warmth of the sun, the temperature dropped sharply. The whole world. It's like falling into an extremely cold river. Winter day is like night. Plants cannot photosynthesize. Mass death. There are no plants. Herbivorous dinosaurs lost their food source. Carnivorous dinosaurs also quickly ran out of food. The entire ecosystem starts to collapse. The Earth seems to have become a dead mark. Icy wasteland. Once noisy forest. All that's left is charred debris and ashes. At the same time, the impact also released cold air, forming acid rain, further pollute the environment. In this global cataclysm, hundreds of species have gone extinct in a short period of time, except for a few small bodies, can hide from survivors in the ground or water. Few behemoths like the dinosaurs were spared. This chain reaction, fall like dominoes. Such an apocalyptic scene, far beyond the reach of any prehistoric creature. Dinosaurs were no exception. The age of the dinosaurs that ruled the Earth for 160 million years, this ends. Disappeared from the Earth with the dinosaurs and pterosaurs in the air, Kanglong in the ocean. Ancient creatures such as boulders, the entire biosphere has undergone a major reshuffle. Shocking. The prelude to the extinction of the dinosaurs, probably long before the asteroid impact, already opened. Just a few 100,000 years before the asteroid appeared, the other side of the Earth. There's a different kind of holocaust going on. In the ancient Indian subcontinent at that time, India today, the magma that had accumulated beneath the Earth's crust began to leak wildly. Continuous supervolcanic eruptions created a huge German dark rock lava platform. Deccan dark rock. Volcanic activity is no ordinary volcanic eruption, but again and again, The sequence of massive gushing along the river. Imagine that. Millions of square kilometers of land were repeatedly submerged under a torrent of hot lava, volcanic ash and gases, continuously ejected from the cracks in the earth. The entire eruption process was intermittent. For millions of years, stacked layers of lava up to 2 kilometers thick, it can be said that nature in the Indian subcontinent placed a lava at full power manufacturing machine, let the fiery magma ravage like a flood. This long volcanic catastrophe causing profound damage to the Earth's environment. First of all, large amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, it's pumped into the atmosphere. Because global temperatures to rise, the climate changed dramatically. Immediately after, volcanic eruptions also release toxic gases from cold snaps, forming global sulfuric acid smoke clouds in the atmosphere, bringing persistent acid rain. The sky at that time often dyed dusky yellow by volcanic ash. The pungent smell of sulfur filled the air. Acid rain falls like vinegar, burning the forest and the earth. Acid rain is like corrosive sprayed in the air. Destroy vegetation, acidification of lakes and soils. The oceans are not immune. Carbon dioxide melts into seawater, cause ocean acidification. Many marine life, especially those who plankton and coral with calcareous shells, facing an existential crisis, severe climate turbulence, hot and cold. Add to that the chemical damage on land and sea. It made the ecosystem miserable. During the peak of volcanic activity, dinosaur habitat may have declined. It's been speculated. The dinosaurs went extinct millions of years ago. It's going downhill. The fossil record for certain groups has become sparse. Maybe it's because of the environment that the coal mine is getting worse. Imagine that picture. The dense forest is gradually withering. Phytoliths couldn't find enough fresh plants. Acid rain falling from the sky, irritating the animal's skin and eyes. Plankton in the ocean die in large numbers. The bottom of the food chain is collapsing, although dinosaurs has adapted to various changes in the Earth's climate. But such a strong and lasting blow let their kingdom begin to falter. Before the asteroid arrived, the dinosaur world may have been devastated. It's just that this recession is coming stealthily and slowly, as imperceptible as a boiled frog. For decades, asteroid impact, it's almost synonymous with the extinction of the dinosaurs. However, some scientists have also proposed Volcano 8 is a different perspective on the main sound. As the research deepens, the extinction of the dinosaurs, the discussion became more and more exciting. Isn't truth a multiple-choice question? It's all of them. So whose masterpiece was the extinction of the dinosaurs? Nowadays, a growing body of scientific evidence point to a compromise answer: both. For dinosaurs, misfortunes don't come singly, like an orchestrated double murder. Volcanoes erupting underground and meteorites falling from the sky, possible, co-directed this extinction tragedy. Imagine the process. Deccan volcano after a long time. Chronic damage to the Earth's environment. It has damaged the vitality of the dinosaur world, like in a boxing match. A shaky player who was beaten. And this is the moment. Asteroids are like the last season's deadly punch. Welcome the area to kill with one hit. The eruption provided the prelude. Asteroid impact brings high tide. 2 disasters, one slow and one urgent, one after the other. The hardest blow to life. Coincidentally, some studies suggest that the timeline of these 2 disasters may be closely intertwined. Precise dating shows. Massive eruption of Deccan dark rocks. Impact with an asteroid. It's almost contemporaneous. Some scientists speculate that earthquakes or shock waves caused by asteroid impacts. It may have even accelerated the eruption of the volcano, make the Earth worse. In terms of geological age, 50,000 years, 100,000 years is a snap of a finger. For dinosaurs, whether it's long-term torture followed by sudden beheading, or a dilemma under the same period of suffering one after another, the ending is the same tragic, so we don't have to. Not to put the blame on a single culprit, the mass extinction of white evil and loneliness, more like a perfect storm, is the result of multiple disasters. Volcanoes put ecosystems in trouble. Asteroid impact completely crushed the last line of defense. Dinosaurs didn't die in a moment. Instead, it fell over a long period of environmental upheaval in the torrent intertwined with sudden disasters. This extinction, it's like a disaster blockbuster divided into 2 parts. The first half was a slow-building crisis. The environment is gradually deteriorating. The second half was a sudden lure. Meteorites hit instantly. The end result is the collapse of life. Some people can't help but ask, if there is no meteorite impact, just dry volcanic eruptions, could the dinosaurs survive? Conversely, if only a meteorite impact, Without the chronic impact of volcanoes, did the dinosaurs have a chance to survive? Unfortunately, history cannot assume. But scientists' research speculates that these two disasters, each is actually enough to cause a mass extinction, long-term environmental upheaval caused by volcanoes. It has devastated the vitality of the dinosaur dynasty, and the sudden impact of the meteorite, or any large animal, unbearable desperation. And the two come together. The dinosaurs were almost doomed to extinction. The chilling thing is the double strike of white evil and loneliness. It's not just a coincidence. Further back in geological history, intense volcanic activity played the role of the one of life many times. A facial eruption of this scale, it's called a torrent in geology. Basalt event, it's often associated with extinction. Two of the most famous examples, about 250 million years ago, and Permian, happened on Earth since records began, the largest volcanic eruption ever. Siberian dark rock event. The lava that erupted from that disaster covers a vast area of Siberia, released greenhouse gases and toxic gases, triggering extreme climate change and environmental upheaval. About 90% of species went extinct in a short period of time. It can be said that the creatures of the Earth at that time almost wiped out. This is the worst known mass extinction. Earth's ecosystem took tens of millions of years, just recovered from the ruins. You're looking at the end of the Triassic, about 200 million years ago. A similar tragedy is repeated. At that time, there was intense volcanic activity on both sides of the Atlantic, known as the Mid-Atlantic Fire City. The Yansheng event triggered the Triassic, Jurassic mass extinction. Many marine and terrestrial species are unable to adapt. Sudden environmental changes disappear one after another. It cleared the way for the rise of the dinosaurs in the Jurassic. This shows that every time volcanic energy brews inside the Earth, massive eruption, it's devastating to life. Whether it's a dimer, terminal triplex, or white evil, a torrent of basalt eruptions, like the prelude to death, it goes hand in hand with extinction. The extinction of the dinosaurs is not exceptional. It is in this chronicle of disasters on Earth. One of the recurring bridges. After decades of scientific detective work, we gradually understand the multiple truths of this extinction in the Bihae strata, that thin layer of clay-rich and suppressant elements, a stretch of basalt platform on the Deccan Plateau in India, are telling stories that happened billions of years ago. It is from these fragments of evidence that scientists spelled out a historical panorama of the end of the dinosaurs. The story of the extinction of the dinosaurs tells us history is often not as simple as a single result. The world-changing Byronian apocalypse, it did not arise from a single event. It is the result of multiple disasters. Meteorite is just the last episode, and the volcano is already behind the scenes. Exhausted the vitality of the age of dinosaurs, this astonishing truth unraveled a scene in the history of the Earth for us. A twisty suspense drama also led us the fragility of life and the changing environment, full of awe. However, the end of each mass extinction is also new. Starting point of life, the curtain call of the dinosaur, for the rise of mammals and birds, paved the way. Strictly speaking, a little dinosaur, the ancestors of birds have survived, evolved into the flock of birds today. Without that extinction, no later mammals. Ultimately, the age of humanity, the Earth is reborn from destruction. Tenacious life, it can always bloom and bear fruit again on the ruins. When the ashes are scattered, the sun returns to the Earth. The few surviving creatures gradually multiply. A whole new era of evolution has begun. Looking to the future of the Earth, we can't help but ask, will similar multiple disasters repeat themselves? And the answer is very likely. But the timescale may be in the distant future. Supervolcanoes still lurk underground. There are still wandering meteorites in the universe. It was around the time that we created civilization. Tragedy like a dinosaur. Theoretically, it could happen again at any time. However, unlike dinosaurs, we already have certain predictive and defensive capabilities. Scientists monitor the movements of the forbidden asteroid, strive to develop planetary defense technology. For volcanoes, we are also constantly researching 7 early warning. Dinosaurs couldn't choose their fate, but humans can at least plan ahead. The extinction of the dinosaurs made us understand the planet we live on. Once fragile and lost his master, you will eventually face all kinds of unexpected tests. Because of this, we should cherish the current global environment even more. Reverence for the power of nature. It is worth noting that today, humanity itself is on an unprecedented scale, transforming the Earth's ecosystem. Scientists have warned this could be causing a crisis, the 6th mass extinction. That's another story, though. But the tragedy of the dinosaurs reminds us, no matter the disaster originates from nature, still human, once a stable and prosperous life, you can be vulnerable to change. After all, in the long river of geological history, The reign of no species lasts forever. Today belongs to our era. One day it will come to an end. But as long as we have a reverence for history, with humility for the future, perhaps on this unpredictable planet, go further.